everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to more of the best of 2023 in board gaming. And today we're talking about art. Yeah, I know. Art is very subjective. And every year people are like, Tom, you are a terrible judge of art. Just look at the way you dress. I know, I said it first. But you know what? I don't care. I like games that look pretty. I like to talk about games that look really good. And it's fun to give them praise because for me, when a game looks good, it's a game I want to sit down and play. And I have more enjoyment playing it. Although I don't let my thinking about the art or thinking about the game affect my thinking of the art, really. There's a couple games on this list that I'm not huge fans of, but I still think the art is absolutely fantastic. So let's just jump into this. Like I said, it's my subjective list. Everything in board gaming is subjective for the most part, but this more so than most. If you have ones that you think are fantastic, mention them in the comments. But here we go. My 10 favorite games with art. Number 10 is Art Society. It has the word art in it. But yeah, this one has quite a few artists. Veronica Grassi, Max Kosek, Angelica Regni, Sophia Rossi, Doris Shermandai, Giacomo Vici. And man, that's because there's so much art in the game. This is a game about putting art on the wall. And I really like the concept of this, where you put all these little paintings. But I really like all these little paintings. Some of them are kind of spoofs on actual famous paintings. And some of them, I'm assuming, are not famous paintings. But they all look good. They all have distinct styles. And I think having multiple artists actually helps this game because then you have different styles of art on the pictures that come into this game. And I like it a lot. I like the idea of collecting a wall full of art. You know, nice old 1800 styles with this. Feels like these weird pictures, although there's a cell phone or so on some of the pictures. But I just enjoy how Art Society looks. Number 9 is Bonsai. The artist here is Davud Magadami. And here, I think the game is beautiful. I think Bonsai has a very nice cover. I think the trees and all the cards and Bonsai and the tiles are very beautifully illustrated. But a lot of the art in the game comes from you playing the game. You're building a bonsai tree in this game. You're putting out tiles. But because of the rules of the game, they force you to put the tiles out in such a way that you create your own piece of art, this own bonsai tree in front of you. And every time we play it, we're like, what do you know? I have this unique bonsai piece of artwork that I built. So I think, to me, that makes it being worth number 9. Number 8 is Amun-Re. You're like, hey, Amun-Re came out 20 years ago. You're right. I'm talking about the Amun-Re 20th Anniversary Edition. This is from Alley Cat Games. And the artist here is my favorite board game artist, Vincent Dutray. Vincent does great stuff, but this cover and the cards and the board look amazing. Amun-Re has always been a game that I thought very highly of, and one of my problems with the game is that it has not looked that great, especially the board. Now the board is gorgeous, yet still functional. They added in a special module with gods. Those cards look great. The cover itself looks fantastic. Just across the board, beautiful game, Amun-Re. Now we come to Celte. Now this one here is from a company called Pythagoras. And until the year 2023, I thought Pythagoras had some pretty substandard art, pretty substandard look to their games. Well, they changed that completely. The artist here, and Mihailo Dmitrievsky, I apologize, I've been probably mispronouncing a lot of names, but I want to give credit to these guys. This artwork looks fantastic. That's a really cool cover, and all the art on all the cards has a pretty neat look to it. Now, the art here is going to look similar to other games. I mean, in some ways, it looks a lot similar to the Scholars of the South Tigers, but this whole Celt look to it, the whole board, everything is gorgeous. This is a game that I thought just missed the mark for me. It felt like there should just be a little bit more in the game. But I certainly had a good time delving into this world and looking at the art. I thought it was really well done. Next, we have a game I don't like. That's Mercurial. Mercurial from Good Games. And there are several artists here. David Go, Aegis Setiowan, Thomas Tan, Jeanette Wang, Chen Wei, Yangxiao Zhan, and Beverly Yim. And man, folks, the game, I mean, when I saw the cover for this game, I was like, ooh, this game looks really interesting. And each card, it has some sort of, I don't even know what the world is here. It's like a future, past, fantasy, sci-fi. I don't know what all this stuff is. But each card is a gorgeous piece of art. They really did a good job. When you put this out, people stop and go, what is this game? It looks very impressive, which is why it's my number 6. Number 5 is Disney Lorcana. The artists here are Corey Godby, Luis Huerta, Cam Kendall, and Jake Parker. This art is unbelievable. Whatever you might say about Disney and or Ravensburger with this release of this CCG, which has definitely been an interesting year for them releasing this. The artwork on each of these cards has just been absolutely stunning because they were allowed to take Disney characters and do their own art, but they were also allowed to add some aspects to them. So you might see Scar the lion made of fire and different aspects like that. And just when you play this, the cards are just gorgeous to look at. They really are. This is not some cheap grab some stills from the different movies and slap them on cards. They did a good job. Some of these cards I would put up on my wall. I mean, again, you got to kind of like Disney a little bit to get into this, but I'm telling you, this is absolutely fantastic. Number 4 for me is Mall Peak. The artists here are Dustin Fowl, Sebastian Koisner, and Helen Zhu. And I don't know, I just have always liked this kind of art. This is animals, so you have these bears who are fighting these giant beasts. But the giant beasts both look scary, but also not super scary. I mean, kids can play this game, but it has its own visual style. We talk a lot about different artists, and a lot of games kind of look the same. I feel like this one has a little bit of a different look to it. It's a little cartoony, but it's also cool. I mean, look at that the cover for Mall Peak itself. That giant spider, it gives me a little bit of shivers, even though it's a cartoony thing. And it's just, the whole aspect comes together and makes a really good-looking game. Number 3 is another one with the word art in it. And it's also another one from my favorite artist, and that's The Art Project from Vincent Dutrait. The Art Project is a bunch of thieves who are going around and stealing art back from bad guys. Okay, yes, it's very similar to Monuments Men, but this game is not like that. When you look at these, one of these guys looks like a Hawaiian Santa Claus. And this game itself, which is a cooperative game, and you're moving around, doesn't have a ton of like super strong theme. You're moving stuff from here to here. You're spending tokens. You're doing that. But Vincent Dutrait's artwork kind of brings it to life a little bit. I don't know the backstory on all these people. There's like a little paragraph that does it. But if there's a game where I think the art really enhances the theme, this is one of those. I'm just very impressed with how each of the characters looks, each of the boards, so you can play on different boards in different countries. Each of those boards is done in just such a beautiful, gorgeous way. It's a great-looking game. Number 2 is Sail from Weberson Santiago. Also another one of my favorite artists. This, I mean, to me, this we have done just recently on our channel, voting on the best cover of all time. I recorded this before that, so I don't know what has won. This would probably be my pick. I love the cover of Sail. But I like just the artwork on the game itself. I like the artwork on the cards, the ships themselves. This is very stark compared to most of the games I like. I tend to like just color everywhere. And this game doesn't necessarily have that. But the different captains that you might have, the different ships, and the game itself, it's a small package, but I think the art in it is terrific. And my favorite game for art is a game that has the same theme as one we've already seen before, and that's Dixit Disney Edition. The artist here is Natalie Domboy, and she's done Spirits of the Forest, Space Lunch, Philosophy, a bunch of games I really haven't heard much of. I believe this is the first Dixit game that she has done, and you would not know it. I think it's the best Dixit artwork I've seen since, well, Dixit. There's been a ton of expansion for Dixit. There's been some spin-offs and stuff. There's been other games that have tried to copy it. And here it came out, and I was like, oh, Disney, we'll see how that works. And it works so well. Even if you don't like Disney, I think the cards will work for you. If you do like Disney, it's even cooler because they didn't just take a picture again from the movie. They took it and Dixified it, which is basically, it feels like someone got real sleepy, got real weird, maybe drank a little, and then drew the pictures, and with amazing talent. But the cards look amazing, and that makes it my favorite game with art this year. So those are my top 10 favorite art that I've seen in games this year. I think it's been a great year for art and production. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm Tom Vasel, and you're watching The Dice Tower.